All right, guys, we are moving right along. We are on to video number six. Video number 6 of 10. We are going to be doing the NFC Norse Division now. My favorite division because it's got my hometown Bears in it. They are my team. I have been a fan forever, basically since I was 6 years old. I'm not gonna lie. I remember watching fucking Jim Miller's fucking slow bitch ass out there trying to run around and evade fucking defenders. That was... Don't forget Chris Anderson, Shane Matthews. I've been around for a lot of shit Bears, all right? I've been around for a lot of shit Bears. And I'll be around for a lot more. Because, let's face it, there's going to be a lot more. If this is your first time watching, 7 Brew is my guilty addiction. I love it. If you have one near you, highly recommend you go to it. They are phenomenal. Phenomenal. Best way to start my day. One of these and my hitter. I love my weed. Yep, big ass pothead too. I'll start plugging different pot people. So hopefully I start getting some cool sponsorships and then we can start doing some cool shit that way. Because it'd be cool to be able to grow the community and then grow that way, and then I can do like giveaways for like shirts and stuff. Because I would love to start getting like that kind of stuff going eventually. I already had people ask me on my other channel, so just something I've been thinking about. Nothing I'm actually planning on anytime soon. You guys will I'll have to grow. I have to get over 100 people sub before I start worrying about merch. Over 100 subs, at least. And then we can start discussing stupid merch and shit like that. All right, first up, we have the Bears. Depth chart. Honestly, I really love what they did with the O-line. That interior O-line is vastly improved from where it was. Drew Dahlman up the middle, Jonah Jackson, Joe Tooney on either side of him. Braxton Jones on the left, Darnell Wright on the right. I don't dislike the line. There's a lot of people that don't like Braxton Jones at the left tackle spot. He's a 5th round rookie, 5th round draft pick that started as a rookie and hasn't been unseated. I get that there could be some bias going on from polls, but he did just draft the 2nd round guy that was unable to beat Braxton Jones out. Now you can sit there and say, well, maybe Ozzie Trapilla was just not that good, or maybe Braxton Jones has been working his ass off. You know, maybe that's it. But we won't know until the actual season starts because you don't get enough actual play time with these guys, not the fucking starters, and the fucking until the regular season, because the preseason they get like 1-2 series. Now, granted, they got a whole half. They were playing against fucking Chris fucking Jones against Kansas City, so it's not really a good gauge for the offense, now is it? Now we go over to the defense. They spent a bunch of money over here. Dio Adangbo, Grady Jarrett. They drafted Hippolyte. They just claimed DeMarco Jackson off of waivers, and they did the same with Jalen Jones, one of our sub corners. Honestly, I really like our defensive room. I really like Dennis Allen coming in and being their defensive coordinator. Torrey Taylor's got a cannon of a leg. And this new dynamic kickoff will be great for Cairo Santos because he is pretty decent at his positioning, and I've already seen that come into great effect so far this preseason with kickers that are really good at placing it, being able to place it close enough to the sideline that it's not going to go out of bounds, but far enough over that it's a problem to collect. And I've seen a bunch of returners early in the game muffin these kicks, only getting back to the 16, 17 yard line. And if you got a kicker that's good at directional kicking, that can be a gigantic boon to your defense. That's like 20 yards of field position. 20 yards of fucking field position. All right, let's get into this schedule. Now, honestly, I say they have a pretty decent chance of winning week 1 because Minnesota doesn't have any of their fucking wide receivers. That's always going to make it a lot easier for us. So I'm going to go 1-0 out of the gate. 1-1 after Detroit. 2-1 after Dallas. 3-1 after the loss. No. Had the Raiders beaten them. 2-2. 2-2 after the Raiders going into the bye. Although they could get a pretty decent backing when it comes to fans. That could be like a home away from home game. And it'll be a Sunday afternoon game. That'll be a fun game. You know what? I'm going to flip that right now to a win. Flipping it right now to a win. 3-1. At Washington, that's going to be a loss on Monday Night Football. Although it is out of the bye, I'm still going to give them the loss there. 3-2. At home for New Orleans, 4-2. At Baltimore, at Cincy, 4-4. At home for the Giants, 5-4. At Minnesota, I'll say they split, so 5-5. Hosting Pittsburgh, Aaron is no longer our owners, bitch. 6-5. At Philadelphia, 6-6. At Green Bay, right the fuck here with your Micah Parsons bullshit. Win for the Bears. 7-6. Versus Cleveland, 8-6. Versus Green Bay, 8-7. At San Francisco, 8-8. And finishing up at home against Detroit, 9-8. 9-8 for the Bears. 9-8. I think that's pretty decent. I do have a $40 bet at plus 110 for them to go over 8.5. I believe they will do it. It's not going to be pretty, but they will get there. I also have a plus 165 bet on Caleb Williams to go over 4,000 yards, and the Bears will have their first ever 4,000-yard passer this season. $100 plus 165. That was my last prop bet. We will go over my prop bets one more time when I do the recap, but those are my prop bets. Chargers over 9.5, Bears over 8.5, Caleb over 4,000 passing yards. That is my prop bets for the year. All right, let's move on to Detroit. I'm not going to lie, I think they are going to regress back more than anybody really thinks. As much as I like Dan Campbell, I did not like any of the games. None of the preseason games impressed me at all. Like, it wasn't good. And that's coaching. That comes down to coaching. Everybody's got rookies and kids that aren't going to make the team playing, but the good coaches get their kids to win. Look at the Ravens. They play scrubs for almost all the preseason, but you know what they do? They fucking win. All right, they got a good offense, but I don't know if it was scheme or what, but I heard Amon-Ra St. Brown was having a shit fucking day against Derek Stingley. Could not get open against anybody on that fucking defense. was just completely fucking locked down. Jameson Williams is still fast as fuck, but that scheme's got to get him open. We'll see how they scheme it. I'm not sure. Still got Penei Sewell. I don't know. Sam Laporta. Defense, they got all their guys back for now. Ali McNeil is still out. Josh Pascal is still out. Ezekiel Turner is still on IR. Dan Jackson is still on IR. Darian Arnold is still questionable. Yeah, they still got a pretty decent amount of injuries, but most of their guys are back. Jack Campbell's good. Alex Anzalone, who it sounds like they're getting rid of at the end of the year. Marcus Davenport's there. Hutchinson's back. DJ Reader should be good. Brian Branch is good. Kirby Joseph is good. DJ Reed's good. They should be. It's going to come down to coaching. It's going to come down to coaching for them. Win totals from the sports books have them at 9.5 wins. We'll see what we can do here. Open up at Green Bay. I think that's going to be a loss. Mike is going to make that a loss. At home against Green Bay, or against Chicago. They're going to win that one. 1-1. At Baltimore, nope. 1-2. Hosting Cleveland, yep. 2-2. At Cincinnati, we'll go, yep. 3-2. At Kansas City, nope. 3-3. At Tampa Bay, nope. 3-4. At Minnesota, no. 3-5. At Washington, at Philly, 3-7. Not good. At New York, 4-7. Home for Green Bay, 5-7. Home for Dallas, 6-7. At Los Angeles, 7-7. Home for Pittsburgh, 8-7. At Minnesota, 9-7. And then the Bears. The Bears, I believe I have beating them the final game of the year. And they tie at 9 wins and go under. That is an under for the Lions. 9-8, losing season. About what I predicted. We're going to skip to the Vikings next because fuck the Packers. I don't want to talk about those fuckers till I need to. Vikings, they traded back for Adam Thielen. And he took a $2 million pay cut to come back. Yeah, that's nice of him. That was nice of him. J.J. McCarthy, I'm not sold on. We'll see how he does once the lights are bright. Jordan Addison is suspended. Justin Jefferson probably isn't going to play this first week, which means he's going to have basically no fucking wide receivers. They've got 4 wide receivers that are going to play, maybe 4 of them. 4. Yeah. Still got TJ Hawkinson, which is nice, but not a lot else. Jordan Mason joined them. They spent a lot of money on Will Fries from the Colts. I don't think that was a good investment. I don't think that's going to be a good return. I think he was massively overpaid. But that's just my opinion. We'll see how it goes. Moving on to the defense. I mean, Brian Flores always has them flying around really fast. So the fact that they don't have anybody that I really give a shit about other than Van Ginkel, I guess, and maybe Jonathan Grenard. I guess Javon Hargrave-ish. I mean, the rest of them are just guys. Just guys. I mean, Byron Murphy used to be good back when he was a Cowboy like 4 years ago. Like, I don't know. But, like I said, Brian Flores knows how to scheme well. So, but it's going to come down to J.J. McCarthy, and I'm not sold on him. Like, until he proves that he can do it in this league, I'm not going to say he can. It's just the way that it works. It's the way that's always going to work. I got them losing to Chicago week 1 because I'm a homer. 0-1. At home for Atlanta, 1-1. At home for Cincinnati, Cincinnati's going to blow the fuck out of them. 1-2. At home for Pittsburgh on Sunday Night Football, 1-3. Again, Sunday Night Football for Week 5 against Cleveland, 2-3. Bye week 6, and then again home against Philadelphia at noon. This one they're gonna lose again, 2-4. At Los Angeles Chargers, 2-5. At Detroit, 2-6. Home against Baltimore, 2-7. At Chicago, 3-7. At Green Bay, 3-8. At Seattle, 4-8. At home against Washington, 4-9. At Dallas, 4-10. At the Giants, 5-10. At home against Detroit, 5-11. And at home against Green Bay. If Green Bay doesn't need it, they'll get it and get to 6 wins. We will double check that one. All right, I got them tentatively at 6-11, barring Week 18. Once we get the deep dive into Green Bay and we see if they're actually going to need to play Week 18, we can go back and switch that. Right now, I got them winning to get to 6-11. If Green Bay needs to play, Green Bay's going to win that, and they'll be in the playoffs, I believe. And then they'll only have 5 wins. But we will find out here in a second. It is time to get into the fucking Packers. Fucking Packer time. Can't believe they traded for Micah fucking Parsons. Okay, Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs, good. I don't know about their wide receiver core. Matthew Golden, I guess he's going to start off the year at number 2 with Dobbs out of the slot. I would have expected Golden out of the slot, not Dobbs. So maybe Golden's not living up to the hype being a first-round wide receiver, their first one in like 25 fucking years, but we will see. Tucker Kraft and Luke Musgrave, really good tight ends. I'm never going to say anything bad about those guys. They're both great. They got a good O-line. But again, I don't know what kind of Jordan Love we're going to get this year. Could be good Jordan Love. It could be shit Jordan Love. We won't know until the season gets here. Defense is going to be a lot fucking better now. They got Micah Parsons, but their back 7 is gettable. Yes, they have Xavier McKinney, but they don't have a whole lot else. I've been watching this team for a lot of years. The rest of their secondary does not scare me. Xavier McKinney does. Xavier McKinney, Edgerrin Cooper, and Micah Parsons. That is who scares me. That is who scares me. If Lucas Van Ness scared anyone, they wouldn't have just fucking spent $50 million a year for Micah Parsons. Just my opinion. But we go over to the schedule here. They open up at home against Detroit. 3 o'clock on Sunday. Probably going to win 1-0. At home against Washington. Thursday Night Football. Washington wins 1-1. At Cleveland, Packer win 2-1. At Dallas, Packers are going to beat that ass. Micah is going to get to Dak at least twice. At least twice. I will put money on that Sunday Night Football. I will have Micah Parsons 2+ sacks for that game. I don't care how astronomical it gets up to. I will have that in my fucking maybe only 2-leg parlay, but that will be one of my legs. Micah Parsons 2+ sacks week 4 against Dallas. 3-1. versus the Bengals, 4-1. At Arizona, 5-1. At the Steelers, 5-2. Versus Carolina, 6-2. Versus Philadelphia, 6-3. At the Giants, 7-3. Versus Minnesota, 8-3. At Detroit, 9-3. We'll say they split with the Bears, 10-3, 10-4, 10-5, 11-5 after Baltimore, coming into 11-5. They'll already have the sewn up, and they will finish at 11-6 because they will not be playing anybody, and the Vikings will take it, and the Packers will go over their 10.5 win total, which I did get after the Micah trade, so that is post-Micah trade projection. These are post-Micah trade projections, at least for the North. I don't know if they updated everybody else, but I'm sure as fuck they updated the North win totals. All right, that will do it for the NFC North. That is 6 down, 2 to go, and then we just got a recap, and then we are just ready for the season. I'm not going to do a preview for week 1 because I'm kind of previewing each real first game right as we go for each team. So I won't do an actual week 1 preview because I'm doing this deep dive into all the teams right before the season starts. But we will start doing the weekly previews starting week 2. Those will be built in at the back end of the review. We'll do week 1 in review, say probably Tuesday every week. And then we'll also look ahead on the back half of that and take a look at what's coming up. I mean, I'll be live for almost all the games, so you guys will, if you're here with me, you'll know how all these games are going. You'll know where my bets went, how people are performing, because I'm going to keep an eye on all the fantasy stuff, all the regular stuff. I keep myself extremely locked in with as much football content as I possibly can because of all of my betting. I do a lot of sportsbook betting, I do a lot of fantasy, so I got to keep myself plugged in if I want to have the best chance to get a return on my investment. And I do consider this an investment. So if you would like to start tracking my bets, please feel free. You will be able to see them available at the start of every game on the right-hand side of my screen, where right now my video is covering, but you can see where I put up this bet 1. Oops. See that? Now it's gone. That, gone. That will be where the bets go. That red one was a loss from one of my previous ones, but I do have a win bet here though, which you can't see. There it is. But yeah, I do win. I do have some wins. It's not all the time, but I do win a lot. I'm not 100%. I'm not gonna fucking sit here and lie to you guys, but I do win a pretty decent amount. So please give me a like, think about subscribing, and get ready to win some money with me, guys. Later.